Welcome to the Crawlcast. I'm your host, George Krawczak, and this is what happened at Wrestlepalooza. So I'll give you my thoughts, my reactions, and just overall break down what happened. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. And now let's get started. The first match was Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, and Brock Lesnar won. So the first match was Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. And I first just want to say it is great seeing Pyro back. I love Pyro, and hopefully this is just a future thing and not just kind of a one-off. And it's also great to see Brock back. He's kind of been missed. I think he's like a one-of-one human, and it's insane just how athletic he is and how strong he is. Like even on SmackDown where he picks up Michael Cole like he's a child. So it's great to see Brock back. So John Cena did his entrance with like a bunch of kids kind of dressed up as mini Cenas. And it felt like that should have been his WrestleMania entrance. Not just the black screen with his name in white, but just a bunch of kids dressed up as Cena. So that was really good. So this match was... Oh, also I want to say before it started, Paul Heyman also returned and introduced Brock Lesnar. And that was really good. So Lesnar took control at the beginning of the match and hit Cena, and was dominating Cena throughout the whole match. Then Cena hit Brock with 3 AAs. Then Brock Lesnar hit Cena with 6 F5s to win the match. And that was it. Like, this really wasn't a match. Like, I'm really disappointed in this because I was hoping this would be like their 2012 Extreme Rules match where they just beat the absolute crap out of each other. But this was more of like a worse version of their SummerSlam match where Brock just like dominated. And so I am disappointed in this. But the more I think about it, I shouldn't have been surprised because again, I was expecting their 2012 just absolutely being the crap out of each other. But that's not going to happen because if you think about it, Brock is a little bit older now, and I I'm not sure how much he cares or not, because if you, for example, if you look at the Cody feud, he did give a lot and tried really hard for Cody. So I don't necessarily think it's Brock being lazy. I just think they're trying to build Brock up as this dominant beast. So they're like, okay, let's just have him squash John Cena. And also, I'm thinking on Cena's side, he's getting ready to gear up for Hollywood and finish this wrestling thing. He doesn't need a broken nose or have someone bust his head open and give him a concussion. And so it kind of makes sense that this was a squash match. It's just that my expectations were just a little bit higher, and I'm kind of disappointed because I understand that, like, the finisher spamming, that's all John Cena can really do now, and that's all his matches are, but that's just not for me. I understand a lot of people really like it, but it's just not for me. I just don't like seeing constant finishers. I like seeing actual wrestling in my wrestling matches. So overall, I just thought it was just okay. I do agree with Lesnar winning here because you have to keep in mind, Cena's going to be gone in a couple of months, and Lesnar is going to stay around after that. He's probably going to be here for at least another year or two. So it just makes sense that Lesnar wins because he can use this more. And again, it builds the credibility of him being a dominant beast. But also, I'm not sure how much he needs that because everybody's seen him for the past 20 years be this dominant beast. And so, like I said, just very disappointed. I wish it would have been better. Just disappointed. The next match is The Vision, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed versus The Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso. And The Vision won this match. So it was The Usos versus The Vision, and they announced right before this match that LA Knight was going to be the special guest referee. So during the match, because he likes the Usos a little bit better, he kind of enforced the rules against The Vision where they're like no tables, no chairs, and then kind of let the Usos use chairs. The Vision dominated Jimmy Uso for almost this entire match until Jey got the hot tag and came in. And then the Usos hit the 1D on Braun Breaker, but Bronson Reed then just broke up the pin. Jey Uso then got busted open, and I don't know where. I saw some people saying that, like, Braun Breaker kind of knocked him down and he fell face first into a chair, and that could have been it. I don't know. I never really noticed where there was a spot where he could have been busted open. Honestly, what happened was Braun Breaker speared him, and then I just saw Braun have a bunch of blood on him. I'm like, oh, where's Braun bleeding? His face looks fine, but his body's covered in blood. And then I saw Jey. So, again, I don't really know how that happened. And then there's this table spot where Braun Breaker speared both the Usos through the table. And, like, it was two of them going into one table, and that was kind of botched, and that didn't really look good. And then Bronson Reed hit his tsunami for the win. And I'm happy about this because the Vision kind of needs to look strong. Overall, this group has been looking very weak. It's Seth Rollins, and they kind of feel like his lackeys. And quite frankly, it doesn't even feel like he's a part of Seth Rollins anymore. Like, I think they should probably be separated from Seth at this point because I don't think Seth is doing them any good. I don't think they're doing Seth any good. And they've been kind of branded as losers. Like, I know they're supposed to be thought of as these unstoppable beasts, but they both lost at SummerSlam, and then Bronson Reed lost at Clash in Paris. So they've been kind of nothing but losers this whole point. So overall, the match was just okay. It was sloppy at points, but it was just an okay match. And then overall, good win, and hope Jay's okay, because it did look pretty nasty. I couldn't find the spot where he got busted open, but it was pretty nasty. He was bleeding quite a bit. The next match is Io Sky versus Stephanie McMahon for the vacant WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And your new Women's World Heavyweight Champion is Stephanie McMahon. So no surprise here, best match of the night. Really, really good. I even said in my predictions video, this one and the Cena-Lesnar match are the two I'm really looking forward to because I know I say this every wrestling video. Io Sky is the best wrestler on the planet. She is so good. She has amazing matches regardless of who she's in the ring with. So the match started and like I don't even know, like I couldn't even write down spots. That's how good this was, where I was just so like entranced in the wrestling. They are just so good together. And again, Io Sky is just so phenomenal. It was really, really good back and forth, and Stephanie hit amazing corkscrew moonsault for the win. And she's now going to be in charge of carrying this women's division, and hopefully she can live up to it and do well. It's weird, they haven't been booking her on TV really at all, and it seems like I don't know why, but she's been kind of seeming like a bit, I don't want to say a loser, but just not treated as like world champion material, and then she becomes a world champion. It feels like you want to build her up as someone who can be a world champion, and then she wins it. So that just doesn't make sense to me on how they've been doing it on TV. But this was just a phenomenal match. Again, Io Sky, so athletic, such an amazing, amazing wrestler. I'm probably Io Sky's #1 fan. She is just so fantastic. Great in-ring psychology, great selling, great back and forth. Overall, fantastic match. It's so good. It was really, really good. By far, match of the night. And again, congratulations on Stephanie for winning. But this was such a great, fantastic match. The next match is Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee, and CM Punk and AJ Lee won. So this match obviously depends on your taste because it did have a lot of star power, but overall I just didn't think it was that great. So the match starts with CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and then there's kind of a arguing going back and forth on who should start, whether it's Becky, whether it's Seth, whether it's Punk, whether it's AJ, and they keep going back and forth, and then finally it's Punk versus Seth. And I'm going to be honest, I really struggled to get into this match just because we've seen Punk versus Seth so many times, and I don't care anymore. Like, we've seen them feud for the past 2 years, and it just needs to end. Like, you know how it got to the point where even though they've had longer breaks than Seth and Punk have, where Randy Orton and John Cena, where it felt like they're wrestling so often, it's like we don't care anymore because this happens too much. We need a break. Whereas this is like that without the break because they've been feuding nonstop for past 2 years effectively. So again, the majority of this match was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and I just didn't care about those two. I was mainly waiting to see if AJ Lee still has it and she can still wrestle. So it took a while for AJ to get in the match, and then when she finally did, it was interesting because she had Becky and the Black Widow for like 2 minutes, and just Becky would not tap, and then Seth finally broke it up. I think he kind of missed his spot. And then she put Seth in the Black Widow. And then there are points where like Seth pushed AJ, and then Punk pushed Becky and put Becky in the sharpshooter, which should have ended the match. And I don't know why, but it should have because those were the rules. And again, I don't know why the rules weren't followed. And then there was one point where Rollins covered Punk after a stomp, but it didn't make sense because Punk wasn't the legal man. And so, like, literally the last quarter of the match, the rules kept getting thrown out where tags basically meant nothing because you can pin anybody, even the non legal person. The men could hit the women without being disqualified. AJ Lee had a really nice counter at the end where she countered the manhandle slam into the Black Widow. But overall, it was just an okay match. I even it's hard to say that. It was a half hour, which was way too long, and nothing really of note happened. The big thing I was looking for in this match is, does AJ still have it? Because that's the big question. She hasn't wrestled in 10 years, and when she did wrestle, she was under like the diva standard, meaning like, for example, Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella was a fantastic wrestler for the wrestlers who were supposed to be models and not really wrestlers. And then now when she's expected to be a wrestler, she's kind of average. Like, so where does AJ Lee find herself when she's fantastic when the wrestlers are supposed to be models, but now when they're supposed to be wrestlers, is she average? Is she great? We simply just don't know. And overall in this match, I don't think we've really learned anything because she just did fine. She was barely in the match, and like she didn't really do anything special, but she didn't really do anything terrible. So I don't know if she's going to be a great wrestler or not. There was parts where like her punches, she was kind of doing the windmill punches, and that just looked super weird and super awkward. But other than that, like I said, she didn't botch or screw up any spots, and then she also really didn't do anything of significance. So I have no idea if she's good or not. We'll probably see, because I assume at whatever the next pay per view is that War Games? I think it might be War Games. But whatever the next pay per view is, it'll probably be AJ versus Becky for the Intercontinental Championship. But overall, the match went too long. Seth and Punk aren't interesting, and just overall, it was a nothing match. It was boring, and I understand it because you wanted to like protect AJ and not force her back into the ring and have her go like a full match, in her first match back in 10 years. But overall, this match just wasn't very good, and it just I again, it's one of those where I don't know if my expectations were too high, but it you could have shaved at least 10 plus minutes off of this match, and it would have been a fine match. The next match is Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And still, your WWE Champion is Cody Rhodes. So, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. So, at the beginning, Cody seemed to struggle to walk at some points, like he was injured. And it was weird because it looked like he tore something or something like that, or he had a bad landing, and he was just kind of limping at spots. But Cody seems fine because that was just the selling at the beginning, and then halfway through the match, he just completely seemed fine, didn't sell it again, so I don't think he was injured at all. And then there was a really nice Alabama slam onto the steps from Drew to Cody. And then there was one spot where Drew had Cody pinned in like a roll up, but the ref was out of the ring, so he didn't count that, even though Drew should have won. And then Drew was going through for a claymore through like the announce table, like the TV in front of it, and then the ref stopped him. And that was kind of stupid because like why can't Drew do that? That's what I always thought is like, for example, when someone's trying to get disqualified and a ref takes a chair out there and let the person hit them if they want to get disqualified. Like, there's no reason why the ref should have stepped in. It made no sense. And so then Drew went for the Claymore and missed and got his leg like caught in the table, injured his leg. And then he got back into the ring and was going to hit another Claymore on Cody, but he kind of like stumbled because he couldn't stand. Cody hit him with the Crossroads for the win. And this was really, really shocking to me that not necessarily that Cody won, although I think Drew deserves it more. It's tough because, yes, Cody has done nothing with the WWE Championship since winning it at SummerSlam, but also he's been gone the entire time. So it's like, you gotta give him at least a little bit of a pass. Whereas Drew, he was my superstar of the year last year, and he deserves something. And after that amazing feud with Punk last year and being so great on the mic in interviews, just amazing, he feels like he deserves this. And look at this year. He had a nothing match against Damian Priest at WrestleMania, and then he's kind of just had nothing feuds until now. I think he really deserved this. And the biggest shock is that there wasn't a shock. There was no surprise return or anything. Because in my head, what I was thinking is, okay, the ref is stopping Drew from attacking Cody. That must be that the ref is trying to rig this for Cody. Like, the ref didn't count Drew's roll up and stuff like that. So maybe The Rock is going to return side of Cody and we're setting up a Cody heel turn. Nope. Like, this was set up as the big ESPN show. And yes, you had Brock's return, which is cool, and you had AJ Lee's return, which is cool, but overall, it kind of just felt a little bit like a house show. Like, nothing of consequence happened other than Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakir. None of the matches were really that great, and everything just kind of felt average. This did not feel like the premiere episode on ESPN. It kind of felt like a little bit hastily thrown together, which was kind of shocking to me because, for example, Netflix, first episode, they went all out on this, and it felt like they'd go all out for ESPN, but no. So I was thinking, okay, Rock or at least somebody will help either Drew win or help Cody win, but no, nothing happened. And so overall, I think it was just kind of an average to below average show. Nothing really happened. Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakir was amazing because Io Sky is amazing. And so overall, I thought the show was just okay. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you like? What matches you didn't like? And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. And I'll see you on the next one.